why I switched from traditional notary to mobile notary, the pros and the cons. This is something I wanted to explain out to you guys so you kind of have an idea of what it's like. And then off rip, I can say that I didn't stay as a traditional notary for very long. And honestly, the traditional notary work never appeals to me. It was never like, oh my gosh, I want to be a notary. I can't wait to stamp some papers and only get paid $10. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, traditional notary work never had my heart. When I first found out about the notary industry, shout out to my uncle. He he recommended it as a mobile notary just because we can get paid more. So these are a couple of the pros and the cons of why I switched. The cons that there is being a mobile notary and traditional notary and like so on and so forth. Kind of want to just give you guys the real so you can kind of understand what it is and what it isn't. So how I'll set this up is I'll put pros on one side and then I'll put the cons on the other. So you guys can kind of have like a, oh my gosh. Embarrassing. And then we're going to put cons over here. So basically, let me make my little line. Let's see how straight I can make it. Nah, we got to get it thicker than that. Boom. You got my pros and my cons. Perfect. All right. So on the pro side, we have flexibility. So I'm able to make my own hours. One of the things that I didn't like or wasn't a fan of when it came to the whole just the regular notary business is, in order to really make money, you got to do a lot of jobs. And I'm not trying to do that much jobs. I'm trying to make the most money possible doing the least amount of work as possible. That's always been like my motto. That's been my thing. You see what I'm saying? And then with the regular notary job, you kind of have to be in like one place, one location in order to get things done. So you have to have your regular traditional notary office. People come to your location and you do it for $10. But with the mobile notary, you're able to be flexible. You can move around. You don't have to work within a set time frame that like 9 to 5. And you basically get to set your own hours and work from anywhere. You don't have to stay tied into an office. It's not the same way with the mobile notary business. You're working by yourself. You're working by yourself and you're working on your own time. So the flexibility is something that I like. And on the other hand, one of the things that I liked, which is the flexibility, has a con that comes with it. So because you're driving and you're going to people's location, now the travel time is something that you have to take into account. Because although you might not be sitting in the office, you're sitting in your car driving to the location, but you do have your flexibility. So you got to choose right there which one matters the most to you. If you don't mind that flexibility and mind that driving to the location, it's not that bad. To me, it wasn't that bad. Just drive around, get the documents notarized, and you're good to go. Another pro that I liked with the mobile notary is I get much higher pay because you can charge for not only like the small additional services when it comes to the notary business, but you can also charge for like different things. Like you can charge for the travel, you can charge for printing the documents, you can charge for mailing off the documents. That's a big pro. That's a big pro that I loved about it. But I would say that if you don't have a system, something that you can like replicate your results from, it's going to be inconsistent pay. Especially when you're first starting off, which is okay. To me, that's not even that big of a con, but it is something that I just want to put here being transparent, is you might get a sale Monday and you might not get another sale till Friday until you actually learn like, oh, okay, this is how I retain customers. This is how I bring in business. And you have to kind of like build that up over time until you actually get to the point where it's like, okay, cool. This is how I make business and this is how I can kind of like make sure that I'm getting 3 clients a day. But in the beginning, you do have to take into account that the pay will be inconsistent. But honestly, even for the traditional notary business, any business is almost inconsistent sometimes until you find out a way to replicate what you're trying to do. So just be prepared for that. That's one of the things with that. With another pro with the mobile notary business is you get more clients. You have the opportunity to get more clients because not only are you able to offer different services, you're able to drive to the location as well. So people that are elderly, they can use your service. People that are in the hospital, they could use your service. People that are lazy, they could use your service. People that want to save their time, they can use your service. You have all these other people that can use your service. On the other hand, when you are a traditional notary, you don't really have that luxury. You have to just hope that they will come to your location and do what you need to do. They'll have to come to the location. But because you're a mobile notary and you're in the car, a con that can come to that is the equipment that you need. And it's not even that crazy, to be honest with you, but I just like to keep things transparent. So for example, you need a car. You can't do this business without a car. You might need a printer, but even if you had a regular notary business, you would need a printer as well. You're going to need like a to-go bag type of thing. So when you're going around, you actually can, put your documents in there. You'll need like your clipboard and things of that sort. It's just like regular equipment stuff that you probably wouldn't even be thinking about. Because most of the time you're spending that in a car, you actually need to have this stuff. So that's one of the things I can definitely say. Another big pro is the convenience that you get for clients. Similar to how I was saying before, where I say that you get more clients. The reason you get more clients is because it's more convenient to them. What I was saying above is, if you look right here, the elderly people, it's convenient for them because they're too old to go to the location, or sometimes they don't just want to leave the house. For the healthcare, sometimes people are bedridden. You see what I'm saying? For the people that are lazy, they don't have to leave their house, and you can still come to them and they can get the job done without having to do much. And people that want to save their time, they know that all they have to do is call you. You're going to come to the location and get it done. Not bad at all. But going hand in hand with you going to the location, that opens up the door of a safety issue, which is not even really that crazy either, because most people that are calling you to do a notary job aren't really thinking like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to kidnap the notary when they get here. Let's be realistic. That doesn't really happen. That doesn't really happen at all. But even if you have a safety concern, you can go out, do the jobs outside in a public place. You can go to Starbucks, you can go to Dunkin' Donuts, you can go to any of these coffee shops or bookstores and get it done in public, so you don't have to worry about safety. But for those of the individuals that are going to the homes, more particularly even women, because I know you might feel a little uncomfortable being a woman going to a man's house. It can be a little weird. So in instances like that, you can always meet up outside or in a public spot. But that's a con to give you one. And I will say another big con is your ability to work from anywhere. So kind of going hand in hand with the flexibility. Once you get into that car and you go, you don't have to worry about having to meet them at an office or having to meet them at an executive building or anything like that. You can go to wherever they are. You could do it in the parking lot. To stamp papers, you don't need like much to stamp papers. You can really do almost anywhere you want to do it. I would say a con that would have to be with the notary business, with the traditional notary business, is you're kind of limited to the areas in which you can work. Most of the time, you'll be in the office as a traditional notary, and if you're in the office, you're limited just to getting clients that are only in the office. So I kind of stray away from things that kind of limit my access. But that's usually for the traditional notaries. But another one for the mobile notaries is weather, which people tend to not even think about. Because you're notarizing documents, and because you're saying and letting people know that you're going to be at the location by a certain time and day, people don't really care that, oh, there's a hurricane outside. You know what I mean? Or, oh my gosh, it's an extremely hot day today. Oh, it's snow. They're more so along the lines of, you told me you can get this job done by this time. They want it done by this time. So that's something you have to keep into account, especially for those of you guys that are in like the snowier states, or those states that have just a lot of problems, like California or something, like forest fires or what's it called, earthquakes and things of that sort. I don't know what your weather is like there, is like that in your state, but those are things that you have to keep into account. With Florida, all we really have to deal with is hurricanes. It's not really much of crazy things, but this kind of gives you an idea of why I switched, because I just love the flexibility, the higher pay, the more clients, the convenient for clients, the work from home. This just grossly outweighed the cons for me. I'm like, the cons for me didn't even seem that much of a con. So I was like, man, I'm gonna do this mobile notary work. And one of the biggest reasons right here is because it's higher pay. But yeah, if you guys need some more information and you're curious, like how that whole business model works, go ahead and click on the link below, book a call. I'll gladly help you out, put you on a system to help you make at least 2 to 5K a month from your notary business. You can also download the kit that I have. I also made a kit for you guys just so if you're ever worried and don't know even where to start, you can just use this kit that I have right here on screen. Download it. That's in the bio. And if you like it, there's also a mobile notary mastery bundle that you can get as well. This will help you with your phone calls, your email scripts, and even sign up for signing services. But if you like that, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification. Peace, love, and I'll see you guys in the next video.